Very good morning. Yes, we so far completed many of the factors which are involved in disasters and what kind of disaster which hamper for the human being, not only for the Homo sapiens, it is also for the environmental distinguished activities through the natural and anthropological factor. And we are also witnessed many things which is involved in disaster management preparedness. It may be a post-disaster, it is in the actual context of the disaster happening, and also for the future concern, how to get over with the disasters in a future way to protect our generation and for the future generation too. So this is one among the concept of beauty. The concept is in the beauty way because landslide is more occur in a prone area called as in the Western Ghats and also for the plateau of the Deccan Plateau and Himalayan Trench. So this is the most important topic for general studies, especially in terms of disasters. It will be asking soon because in the United Nations Ceremonial Organization Treaty, it is emphasized in a huge way. And India is a signatory body to consent to eradicate the landslide to actual scenario. So you know the past, we know the future, but we don't know the actual reality which is present. This is the objective of here. So yeah, what do you mean by landslide? It's a breaking down of landmass towards the downfall with the anthropological or the natural phenomena. You know what is natural coming from the heavy rainfall, heavy monsoon and the wind flow. It may be in an actuate seconds of fraction. And coming to the point of anthropological, it can soil erosion, land degradation, soil erosion, landslide. These are all the one same word which is emphasized for this topic. You know what is slide? Sliding movement from one particle to another particle, rubbing each other and collision each other and dismantle each other. This is the landslide. What do you mean by degradation? A landmass is situated in a severely in the decade to decade in one place. But if you quantumly approach the negative standard to positive standard to downward, it is called a degradation. Means that landmass is degraded. And if you concentrate the soil erosion, land is nothing but the soil. It's a predominantly, whether it is a natural or black cotton or the red soil, it may be. There are many types of soil. If the soil is getting eroded or the weakened enough, that is called as landslide or soil erosion or land degradation. So, I'm happily convey this topic in a massive sphere because it is not only the case of a practical human. Because we are not knowing that is there any subjective to interpretation in a bottom approach or foundational level. You know what? Myself is standing in one place and my hilly area is sophisticated to earthquake zone. It may be a zone 1, it may be a zone 2, it may be a zone 3, zone 5. It may be a massive disaster, but the landslide will be definite enough. So, preparedness early to mitigate the landslide is the key pillar here. But we don't know which soil is very loosened enough. There is a three type of consecutive one is igneous rock. Rock system, igneous rock. Another sedimentary rock. There, the sedimentary rock is very, very, very weak enough, and it will be. There may be a quartzite or the lime content or the huge sulfuric acid, weak nitrate. This is the factor, right? The soil condition is having absolutely the combination of sulfur and nitrogen, right? So weakening of the nitrogen towards the soil condition. ಈಗ ಮರಗಳು ಕಾಂಡ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಪ್ಲಗ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೋತದೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಾಯಿಲು. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್. ಸೊ weakening of the soil condition is one among the parameters. And sustainable development, we emphasize all 169 countries from UN Charter. But This is one combination which, yes, United States and superpower of China, superpower of Russia emphasizing. Not only it is a consecutive ratio of fourth economy build India, this is also for the sovereign distinguished nation and bond challenge. This is the word please listen, the bond challenge. This word is emphasized the international sector towards landsliding. Okay? Let me closely observe this. India is a highly prone landslide cities or the landslide landmark. Why? You have to get to know the region, right? Yes, of course, 12% of the landmark, total geography of India is vulnerable. Especially the Himalayan range and the Western Ghats from Goa, Karnataka and Maharashtra and Kerala. This is the subdivision. And if you concentrate the northeast, 8 sisters, the perimeter of the northeast, that is vulnerable. So it is subject to, and few among the Jharkhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh, few among, not the superiority when compared to the hilly region of northeast and Himalayan and Western Ghats, not like that. But it is vulnerable. You know why it is vulnerable? If the landslide happens, you are not going to control it. Have you? If you go run in a kilometer, it's not possible because landslide may be occurred from the natural phenomena. One is earthquake. Earthquake will be disaster, so all the rock mass, the heavy densified rock mass will be spill away, and the heavy rainfall, coastal area, heavy rainfall, landmass will be subjected. And also weak urbanization in terms of village condition. Yes, it is a rural, not necessarily, it should be stubborn the infrastructure domain. So all the houses are very weak, not in a concrete way. And for SBC, you know, civil engineers terminology, safe bearing capacity is the key role to play. What kind of foundation we need to be input there to build a house or any of the infrastructure. SBC, safe bearing capacity. And if you concentrate the road California bearing ratio, CBR, this is two twin theory in civil engineering to maintain the dignified foundation. Whether it is a mat foundation, raft foundation, it may be a trench. Mat means one-to-one coupling, raft means pillar wise. See, in coastal Karnataka, we saw the red block, red ಜಂಬೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಕೆಮ್ಮಣ್ಣು, ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು, ಹೌದಾ? That is a fantasy. So, subjective interpretation of the losing of human trench and animal condition and other living standards of ecosystem is the key pillar here. You know, there is a statistic report here to gain the things. Nearly 30,000 square kilometers of the Western Ghats or the north and east, it may be a combination, it is vulnerable. How you know it? Because of the remote sensing and geographical information, global information system and GPS, GIS. This is the fact. The landmass mapping is having each and every trench so that the weakness of the arc maybe Bennuri is superior in nature because it consists of all the granite here. There is nothing like earthquake. It's highly impossible. May be possible for the future, but not now, because the below the foundation it consists full of granite, so rock system. But it is also a mean key 11 Bennuri is 900 meter, and if you concentrate the coastal network, it may be not even 150 meters. So and Mangaluru is vulnerable, and you know landmark continent to continent drift theory and also the divergent theory. Crew propagate of the plate tectonic, otherwise the volcanic eruption. You know, arc-interior is designed in a three-segmentorial way. One is core, crust and mantle. Mantle is a liquid phenomena. Core is a supreme which we laid upon, and also below that the crust. The crust consists of the heavy solid and the heavy liquid, right? So this is the arc interior. But after the arc, you concentrate. This is the arc. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, exosphere, thermosphere, right? This is the arc layers, right? Atmospheric layers. Which is the vulnerable? Vulnerable is troposphere. And what condition it is attached? Crust, mantle, core, right? Crust is the segmentorious and troposphere, it is vulnerable. This is the troposphere, this is the crust, it is vulnerable. That is why. And you know why exactly the Western Ghats is important to deal the things here means, even though rich of ecosystem, rich of planetary, and you know the condition is very greenery is vanished, washed away, but the soil permeability condition is more. What do you mean by permeability? The adaptation and absorbing the capacity of the water is more, then the soil condition will be loosened up. It won't be a dry condition. Too dry is highly impossible in Western Ghats. Too wet is, yes, it is possible. When too wet condition, wet means ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಿಡಿದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಿರುಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಲೂಸಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ there is a systematic topography of Western Ghats. It is in a slope area. Like that, you know, because ocean, this is the one crunch, here is the submerged pressure of ocean, and here is the landmark. How it will be pressurized in a horizontal and vertical inspiration, right? And if you concentrate the geographical activity, one propulsion will be ignited towards the left side to right in a inclined mode. So the pressure will be in a bulb layer, right? If you concentrate, this is the whole globe, the pressure will be act like a bulb layer, this like 1, 2, 3, because the pressure is ignited, right? Whatever the live load is what we are. Dead load is an infrastructure. So combination of the live load and dead load is a sphere of cognitive action on anthropological activity towards landslide. So this is the brief introduction on landslide. Let us concentrate in even actually how to mitigate the landslide in a propagate way. Understanding administrative skill is a key chapter here, but we have to know before what kind of methodology engineering term it is set upon and geographical factor why it is so. That's why the introduction is a little bit briefly. You know, the 2021 Himachal Pradesh landslide happened. 350 deaths happened. What is the number? 350 plus. And you know, 2013 Uttarakhand disaster triggered less than or greater than 4,000 landslides in the year, nearly the cloudburst. What do you mean by cloudburst? It is also a rainfall spilling away through the entire. So the number of death cases will be, fertile activity is more, comparatively the non-fertile activity. Fertile means the death, non-fertile means an injury. It is highly important. Everyone is not a marathon expert to run in a fraction of a second, right? And we don't only losing our health or the body or the physiological condition, we also lose upon the environment sphere. The total collapsible movement, the property is gone, right? This is the subjective interpretation, especially Shirari Ghat. You have been witnessing many things there. You know, there is a statistic here, 2015 to 2022, okay? India recorded over 400 major landslides. So you know how important the topic will be to address with respect to such a democratic country of India. This is keep in here. And 66% of the Himalayan region is suspected to landslide. You know, Himalayan glaciers means a Himalaya Manjugadde. Crunch are depleting 25 degrees Celsius, and it 25% it is vanished even 50 years after. But the whole India, the North Peninsula, will be submerged in ocean. You may not be even knowing upon this is a land or this is a ocean there. So after the 300,000 years of now, you may be feel India's geography is very different because the African continental is coming up and it may be fall upon the Himalaya there. So it may be fall upon because ocean means Himalaya. Rock means volcanic eruption, right? So what kind of this theory is happening? It's a divergent theory from Africa to Indian plateau, right? African plateau to Indian plateau. So Himalaya may be occur in the Western Ghats, our Mangalore, Udupi, Kasaragod, Kerala Trench, all Himalayan region in future. And if you concentrate here, the actual Himalaya which we saw, that is duplicated in the ocean way. So another ocean will be happening throughout from Jammu Kashmir to up to Maharashtra. Right? Only the landmark which is subject, yes, of course, northeast is gone. Because it has now, even though it is in the area, prone to be the flood. Right? And Odisha, Jharkhand is frequently, Tamil Nadu frequently. So what landmarks we subjected to? Only our Karnataka little bit portion, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and Madhya Pradesh and Bihar, that's it. So this is why we have to protect our nature. You know, Honorable US President of United States of America emphasized this is the last generation to deal the things with respect to environment. That's why he emphasized in a global way. Maybe it is subjected to India, we concern upon, but definitely it may be the United States of America too. He is also facing in 2022 the fire attack. Entire system of fire attack throughout the kilometer to kilometer, not even possible for 5 days to mitigate it. So this is a takeaway there. And if you concentrate, the very richest country in a richness in the biodiversity, one is Africa, another one is Andaman Nicobar. How vulnerable you know? Andaman Nicobar, how vulnerable you know? Possibility ratio is very high to safeguard there because the population is very less. When humans are there, there is nothing impossible. But when humans are there is nothing possible too. So both in a negative standard and positive standard we have to understand. We have to teach our primary school to deal the things especially in terms of disaster. Is there anybody in the government or private school? Have you ever noticed on this? No, this is the chapter which is important rather than the constitutional validity, right? Because you don't know when it is earthquake is happen. Even Japan modern is significantly factor there. Even the 3 class fellow, the 3 standard class fellow are maintaining upon the earthquake disaster individually to preparedness in such a magnitude way. Even it is a magnitude of 7.6, right? This is the main reason to address it. And India record 400 major landslides. It is in a number, but we have to mitigate, no? From 2015 Bond Challenge activity coming up. So India is 14 major disaster responsive or disaster affected nations among the 15 countries. So this is a keep in the here. IPCC, International Panel on Climate Change. Rising of global warming is also one condition. If the global warming rising, what is the takeaway? The cloud burst will be diminished. If the cloud burst will be diminished, what is the condition of El Nino or the monsoon? Monsoon will come upon, and yes, monsoon loves India, right? It will come hit. When it is hitting the huge rainfall, what is the takeaway? The anthropological, we don't know how to maintain our urbanization. It is our problem. It's our scenario to problem to deal the things. Yes, it is hitted, the landslide will be occur. That's why any disaster, even it is a flood, even it is an earthquake, even it is a cloudburst, even it is a storm, even it is a cyclone, the landslide, at least a day occurred. So this is one chapter to deal the things in a massive sphere. And there is a causative action I emphasized early in this regard. There is a step slope in Himalaya and Western Ghats that is also addressed. I will give you the brief, the geographical sentence there. See, this is in India. How beauty our India. Very nice to meeting you on India, prosperity. But you see here, very high is red. Okay, starting from the Goa, towards the Kerala is affected them more, and my native Yanko is there here. So it will be crunch away. Where there is no forestry, where there is a less maintaining upon the urbanization, where there is no respect of the climate, there the landslide will be there, definitely. The causative action, but yeah, safeguard is okay because above the mean sea level of Bangalore, and if you concentrate the northeast India, it is subjected to interpretation of the landslide. And coming to the point of Himalayan crunch, starting here itself, why it is not mapping? Because in the security sphere, the China, LOC and NAC, Pakistan occupied Kashmir and NAC happened, but it's full. Okay, India map, but subjected to interpretation, right, in a geopolitical sense. That is why it is not projected, but still it is also vulnerable. And if the concentration of the 25% of the Himalayan glaciers are fed up of, then this region will be submerged. We are gone this, we lost this, we may be, yes, of course, this is the African crunch, it may be a loss, but this is an India map. A big egg, Koli Mutte, right? In the future, I am telling you, this is the region. So, it is the point of India, right? Concentrate on here, Sri Lanka. What is the takeaway? Same parameter with two faces, nothing else, because same culture, same diversity, same geographical condition, same lithosphere. Lithosphere means the benchmark of foundation of rocks. Same culture, but it faces a magnificent effort. Still now it is okay because they are taken care of hugely. Sri Lanka, best practice. Yes. Coming to the point on the constitutional validity, we know very fantastically the Article 21 right to freedom and Ranjit Singh versus Union of India, the landmark judgment of Supreme Court, emphasized the free environmental threat. This is also a dignity of India, or dignity towards the people, diversity and dignity, right? This is one concept. Yes, this is a landmark judgment. How many of you are knowing it? Landmark judgment. What you have to do? Protect your nature, to protect the tribunal, the National Green Tribunal is a vital role to play. In 2005, the National Green Tribunal happened. Respective interpretation. The conjugative action is more, risk happens, the crunch velocity is more, beyond the limitation, uncontrolled bias, this is the segmentorious way. So, if you concentrate in one geographical location, with respect to Karnataka, I am telling it, maybe the heat wave is more in North Karnataka, and maybe the coastal landslide is more, the flood affected is very in the Arabian Ocean. Yes, okay, we are not having anything, that's not the scenario. We should address our state to state interpretation, district to district interpretation. That is the constitutional validity here. And Environmental Protection Act 1986. This is the code, You have to remember crying infinity times. It respects its regular, the construction, mining, forest. Our civil engineer expert, our geographic expert, or our satellite mapping, remote sensing, the technology usage people should address the correct need, the future trends or disaster with respect to landslide. Then only we can happily go with it. And 73rd and 74th local urban panchayat, it is a bottom up approach towards an administration to protect the environment, protect the property, protect the people. So here the circular, one is environment, another one is people, another one is administration. I emphasize in many classes, administration plus technology divided by management. The management may be a bottom-up approach, the management may be a top-down approach, the management should be propagate way. It should not above the manner, it should not below the manner, it should the way which it need to be, not in a greed, it should be in a need. That is the way crunch, right? And constitutional initiative on the condition assessment, National Landslide Risk Management Strategy. It is a beautiful crunch after the Shirari Ghat incident, It's not only the Karnataka sphere, it's also a Tamil Nadu sphere too. even though it is GSI, 8-step mitigation plan, preparedness, how, remote sensing. We have to understand where exactly, what condition, what zonal interpretation, okay, what is the rescue force, evacuation of the people, and giving an motivation, because you are very panicked there. If you are roaming in a vulnerable state, you lost your property. What is the condition of psychologically to people? It is the most vulnerable thing. So you have to get prepared in terms of the food, livelihood, and dignity too. Especially for every sectorial sphere, there is nothing called as a casteism here. Each human being, not only human, animal crunch and bird crunch, this is the factor. And second, SASE, second, DRDO. It's a concept of build for the warning system through an actual condition in a pinpoint level. And Chargam project, in any infrastructure model, this is one of the great models, the Chargam project, especially it comes under the Bharatmala, Sagarmala project in infrastructure domain, and adopt the slope stabilization and bioengineering solution. Why it is bioengineering solution? Soil is NH3, ammonia, and it consists of the biomass. The more the capacity to rigidity towards the soil, the safer in the landslide. But the less the capacity to rigidity, or it may be the flexible enough, prone to the landslide. So this is an agenda to tackle the things in a sphere. This is one concept. You can also address in case study too. You can Google it for more information regarding this. And Dam Safety Act, the Kerala flood happened nearly 2018. Then 453 fellows are died. Very fatal activity. One person rescued many people, but he too died. There is a movie Kerala Flood 2, you can watch it, it's a Malayalam movie, great inspirational movie to deal a community warfareism or the participation too. So, if you concentrate there, Kerala is most vulnerable landslide activity comparatively the Western Ghats. Is it or not? Because its peninsula is very witnessing and geographical condition is very small compared to any other states. It may be vertical huge, it's like here, from Kasaragod to here, but it is a vast scale. So dam safety, if you in a civil engineering sphere, the safe bearing capacity is the key pillar to address there, and what kind of concrete you are going to adapt it, what is an innovation technology you can safeguard the earthquake scenario. Dam safety is not one domain, it is a pages of 100 book. You can write it in a significant way. How you treat the dam, that you will treat. I gave an example in 2009 Mantralayam incident, the flood dam is spilled away, completely covered, even Rayuru is covered. Right? This is the factor. This is the actual condition in 2009, So subjective interpretation is a Denmark. Denmark is a case study, is one of the brilliant case study. The bridges is a slope trench, and it is like a reversible. The cyclic slope is happening, and there is a technology, the bearing capacity, the earthquake happening in a cyclic way, it will turn it in an anti-cyclic way. So, what a beauty of the technology. Technology-driven administration towards the bottom up and last mile regard to reaching is the key address of disaster management preparedness. Mitigation is the best practice, It is the condition, not the assessment. You may be assessed in a future way, in a brilliant aspect, but your assessment should be in a 50 years crunch at least, because you may be live another 50 years. Another 50 years there may be a technology. Right back you don't know many things, but definitely in your future, your sons or daughters are knowing upon this in a very significant way. So condition assessment of present should be fulfilled for the future. This is an address of disaster management. And reforms in the technological intervention. Artificial intelligence is a one ball of different game, and it is a nurturing of the nature and destroying activity to curb, right? Artificial intelligence, it's not the computerization program, it's not a decoding and decoding, it is the real crunch timeline activity to deal upon it. How we use it, that is the takeaway. You may be used in economic sphere, you may be used in sociological condition. Yes, this is the time to deal the things for the landslide. This is one example. And bioengineering I emphasize in the class, rock bolting and retaining wall. Retaining wall is the concept of civil engineering. It is a Hicklock theory with respect to the bridges. You may call upon the here the nearby the Hicklock theory. Above it is transported and below it is also transported, but Hicklock. It is a foundational hazard. And it is a very rigidity. Not in a mode of soil diversify, losing upon soil, mass erosion is happening, nothing like that. So engineering is not a education, it is a skill. If you know it, then you are educated. If you are not knowing, you are nothing. You may be having a 4 years of degree, but definitely it is a illusion of degree. You are not applied it. You are not an engineer. That's what the scenario. If you are invite that engineering skill, you may be a scientist. If you are not, definitely you are not. And if you apply for the cognitive action, you are truly become an administrator towards the management sector. This is a game. Smart drainage system. Every panic of vulnerability towards the landslide has its own distinguished factors. One is a geographical crunch in the roadway, or the bridge, or the dam, or the channel, or the sphere of water reservoir, right? So this is the condition assessment for each and every individual infrastructure domain. The dam safety is not necessarily to match the same technology, same administration, same management towards the road safety. The road safety is same not for the building safety. The code and provision, Indian Road Congress is a road, and building code is a building. Dam safety, the dam bridges is one of the same. So there is a diversify each. Each and individual is diversified. Why can't it is infrastructure is not diversified? Right? Yes. See, there is a Japan model. I always very flagshiply say the international sphere that Japan is the world class earth disaster responsive in terms of technological driven. The Israel is more prone to be technologist and India is more prone to be innovative. How you utilize, you have to learn with Japan. The collaboration of the Ukraine, India and Japan is the key role to play to mitigate the land disasters in a massive scale. We know to leave the world, but we are not going to have the will to leave the world, right? Leave livelihood and leave to crawl away is the key pillar here. There is a lot of difference here, right? Yes. Nepal is the community-based slope. Community-based, how the strength of the governance towards the people to immediate and the task force responsibility is the key role to play. Not necessarily an individual objective is subjective interpretation, not necessarily in a multilateral fellow is a singular innovation, right? You have to think twice to deal the things in collective responsibility to mitigate the disasters. If not, it won't be feasible enough. You may be look upon your loss, your property and your livelihood, but you are also maintaining it to deal the things in a sophisticated way to abolish human crunch itself in a particular your district. So you must take away to give an administration in a monarchy principle to rule the rule of law. This is one kind of obligation in a disaster way. So coming to the point of the management sector, any management is a Mesopotamia civilization, Sindhu civilization and Harappa civilization. Management is not in the hands of one era. It is a coupling effect of community. So what kind of community we are talking of? Either you are well educated, or you are not educated, or you have a tech person, you are an admin person. Throw upon it your skill to deal one objective, single objective, otherwise it won't be matched up. If you are not, you are sitting in the home to rescue yourself to individual rather than, it may be feasible enough, correct? The dancing girl, dancing girl in one crunch. What is in 2025 there is a question in prelims, the dancing girl. Still it is there in Tamil Nadu. Still the place is there. Tamil Nadu, Tanjavur is very witnessing the landslide, earthquake, flood, but still the statue is there. Why? Our ancient culture of building the technology, we don't know that kind of capacitated technology, but we have that kind of mindset. That is a community participation. That time we don't have a crane, that time we don't have any sophisticated equipment, we don't have any sophisticated innovative. But this is the point of innovation at that time ancient. If that is the case in ancient, why it is not impossible in this? Because we are not willing upon our own sacredness. We knock upon we forgiveness, or we forget our mother home God. That is a nature, right? This is the way. So management is not nothing but anything which is related to the sphere of one dimension. Coming to the point of the case study, you can easily write in GS3, this is one of the biggest case study, 2013. Kedarnath temple, landslide. And coming to the Kerala flood, 2018. It may be a landslide because of the cloudburst or the soil erosion or any kind of volcanic eruption or any kind of massive crunch. But you can add it. Sikkim, in the northeast. But what you have quoted in answer, that is a replica. What mitigated it happens, there is a, let's take the EIA, means Environmental Impact Assessment. They have taken it. And promoted hazardness and geosensitivity ecosystem, they maintained it. And exposed the unsafe construction, they safeguard it. And GSI mapping, guidance, slope stabilization, it is the takeaway. So, if you quote any case study, you have to address what is the reprehension, or what kind of disaster management, what they are frequently upon it. That you have to write. And coming to the point of the landslide, towards the management, you have to get to know awareness program through social media, through information technology, broadcasting, and also a community to mouth, right? This is the takeaway. Anything which is related to propagation, it is maybe an propagation, right? If you want the propagation in a right back way, propagation should be matched. This word is quoted by Honorable ex-President and renowned scientist, Honorable Amino Paketji Abdul Kalam.